when court left off on Thursday, Amber Heard was still under direct examination. During her testimony, she revealed specifics about the abuse that she allegedly endured at the hands of Johnny Depp. Some of her testimony is difficult to listen to, but I want to show you just how serious her allegations are. Take a listen.
And I don't remember even feeling the pain. I just remember the sound of Johnny's voice. He got next to my ear and he was screaming over and over and over again. Each time it sounded louder and more desperate. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Over and over. Hate you. And then pounding the back of my head, pounding it with his fist. And I don't even remember feeling pain. I just could hear myself scream until I couldn't hear myself anymore. I could just hear him say that he was going to kill me. And that he sounded like an animal in pain when he was saying that he hated me. He sounded like he was almost crying, or something in his voice was different. He sounded different, he sounded like he was in agony. It was high-pitched and loud. And I don't know how many times he just hit me over and over and over again. And I got really still. And it felt in my body like quiet. And I thought, this is how I die. He's gonna kill me now, and I'm not. He's gonna kill me, and he won't even have realized it.
Okay, so some compelling testimony there from Amber Heard.
And all of my relationship to date with Johnny.
Let's see what we see now. Joining me right now, we have trial attorney Bob Hiller with us, as well as retired sergeant from the Nashville Police Department, Melissa Pinkleton. It's great to have you both here. Bob, I'll start with you. So she testified for 2 days. She's going to be back on the stand when court resumes. You had mentioned something to me as we were coming on today that, there's so much a focus on whether or not Johnny Depp can make his case of defamation, but we are not maybe talking enough about the countersuit that Amber Heard has filed against Johnny Depp and how important her testimony is to proving that.
Well, yeah, I think, the issue with the cases is different. In her case, what she's claiming is that Depp and his former lawyer had basically accused her of creating a hoax here, that there was domestic violence, that there was sexual violence. And so, these statements here are going to be very critical to establishing her case, because, if these are things that the jury believes happened, and they're certainly going to believe that Depp must have known they happened, then her claim that his accusation that her op-ed piece and her claims were a hoax is something that the jury's going to find, if it wasn't actual malice on his part against her, it was certainly reckless disregard for the truth.
Yeah, and that becomes the issue there when we talk about actual malice, tough with kind of public figures like this. Now, I will tell you, Amber Heard did admit, she doesn't deny that she fought back. She actually told the jury about the first time that she actually punched Depp, and it doesn't sound like she regrets it. Let's take a listen.
Whitney, my sister, all of a sudden put herself in between Johnny and I. She just threw herself in the line of fire or whatever. She just all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I just see my little sister with her back her back to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other, I don't hesitate, I don't wait, I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung. In all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. And I for the first time, hit him. Like, actually hit him. Square in the face. He didn't push my sister down the stairs. And all my time of being in that relationship to that point, hadn't even landed one on Johnny. Sure, I had tried to fight back, threw my arms, flailed my arms, hit whenever I could to try to block blows myself, but never landed anything. And Johnny kind of looked stunned and then laughed at me and then lunged at me again. And before I know it, security stepped in between us and pulled Johnny away. And I went upstairs with my sister, and we locked the door, and I could just hear all this commotion happening in Penthouse 5. I could hear him raging, destroying my things. I could hear it. And at some point I saw it the next day.
So Melissa, you know, if we take away the celebrity aspect for a second, right, and you're dealing with two people who are basically accusing each other of domestic violence, and you hear her account that she was defending herself or defending her sister, does it seem believable to you?
Well, yeah. Listening to her, let's take, like you said, taking away the actress factor. And I've investigated hundreds of domestic violence calls, been on them, investigated them, listened to women who were actually abused. And for me personally, listening to her as an officer, having done it for so long, there is a disconnect for me. I'm not saying that something didn't happen. I'm not saying that she wasn't abused or that she was not put in that situation, but there's a very serious disconnect in the way that she's presenting it and telling it. And I don't know if that's because she is an actress. I see her looking at the jury a lot, almost like pausing and looking for a reaction from the jury before she continues her next sentence. So I'm struggling with her believability just because I've listened to so many victims tell their story in multiple different ways. And hers is like she's reading from a script. And again, that could be the actress factor, but I'm struggling with the believability personally.
Bob, what's your answer to that? Because, you know, people online, particularly those who are pro Johnny Depp supporters, say that she's acting, that she's, you know, not coming off as genuine. I have the opinion that maybe that's a bit premature because, you know, you could have somebody who's a bit rehearsed. You can have somebody who's a bit scripted. Maybe it's just the nerves of being on the stand, but maybe it doesn't take away from the truth of their allegations. What do you think?
Well, and I think the points Melissa just made are what the jury's going to be reacting to or responding to. So, I mean, you know, ultimately they're going to have to decide whether to believe her in everything or just part of it. She has a tendency to look at the camera when she's also testifying, which is kind of interesting, and I'm wondering whether the jury's picking up on that as well. So, you know, those are going to be things that they're going to observe with her, but there's so much here in this case, and there is some corroboration that I think it's going to be difficult for them to reject everything she's saying outright.
Yeah, so look, the debate rages on with Amber Heard on the stand, and we'll talk more about Amber Heard on the stand and the overall complexities of this case. But when we come back, we're keeping a careful eye on their Georgia case, the Ryan Duke murder trial, so we'll let you know if we can jump live. If not, we'll still break down what's going to be expected in that case. Stay with us.